Hello everybody and welcome back. So we're gonna continue and do this script that update the stuff for us. So we don't need to control the sample Bezier here inside of the graph itself. We're gonna do it in the scene. And here I made the positions and we're just gonna make them be connected with the correct ones. So this is gonna be like this, and now we don't need to be in the VFX setup anymore because we have everything outside here. So if we do, and here we have it, and this one we can do -10 and this is going to be 10. So here we have a curve. Now we're going to plug it up to follow a spline. So if you don't have the spline, you just install it from the package manager, and I have it installed, and we're going to do draw spline tool. So I'm going to have it like this. So here we have our spline going like this. Maybe we can remove the ground for now. So here we have the spline and we want the particles, but we want the VFX setup to populate these positions. And on the spline we have, so this is the A, B, C, and D. And in the previous tutorial I made this one here. So you have A here, and this is the yellow, here is B and C and D. So in order to make this work, we're gonna have this gonna be, let's do this for A. So this is gonna be the position A. And then we're gonna have this for B, and this is gonna be C, and this is gonna be D. And on the VFX setup, we can add, let's see, VFX property binder. And what's really good about this one is that you see here we have position A. And if we want to control, first off, let's just move these ones. So if we turn on the ground again, and I'm actually going to do, these ones going to have green marker. Where are they? They're a little bit hard to see. So they're here. So they're not green. This one is green. And this one, B and C, we're going to have them yellow. So I want A to be at the beginning of the curve, and D at the end, and then B going to be the first tangent somewhere here, and C going to be the other tangent here. And I didn't get the correct color. Now it's correct. So it doesn't, I just do this to explain. You don't need to move them like this. And if we take the VFX setup and we have the property binder here. So if we add a transform and a position, and now we have a list, and if you click on this position, here we have the property, so, and the target. So we have this A is our target, and we want to take the position from this transform and add it to position 1. So the property needs to be the same as this one. So it's going to be position 1. And I did an exclamation mark. Now, see. So now you see it populates the values. And we need to do one more. So this is going to be, well, we actually need to do 4 more. 4 in total. It's the correct thing to say. So now we have the position B. This is going to be position 2. And this one is going to be here. This is going to be position 3. And the last one is going to be D. This is going to be position 3. And let's see here, if we move this one around, it's not entirely working. There's something going on here. I wonder what's wrong. I'm gonna pause and figure out what's wrong. So when you have the A position here, you expect the particles to start from A and then have this kind of yellow one as a magnet. And the reason it doesn't work is because in the VFX setup here, the sample Bezier reads this position as local space, but they are in world position space. So we need to change this one to world. And then it should work. And save these ones. And now when we go back here, now we see it works. So this one, now we can control it from outside. And we have this magnet here. So you see we're starting to get what we want. And this one here is definitely not working. Why is it going here? And the reason why it doesn't work is because I made a wrong. Maybe you saw it. So here is position 1, 2, 3. This one is supposed to be 4. So now it works. And this is how it works. And now we're going to add a spline. Well, we have the spline here. So now we want to control this A, B, C, D with a spline. And I have this script. I'm just gonna walk through it so you understand how it works. And also you can see here this position binder. These scripts will disappear if you press play and do stop. They actually disappeared. I don't know why. They're just for setting stuff up. But if you need to go back, you can just click here and then you can change this stuff. So on your VFX setup, you add the script, and this is the script. So here you have a script and you need a spline container. And I'm going to add the spline container here. And now you see what's happening with the script. I'm going to go through the code, but I'm going to show what to do. So it's taking the knots. So a knot is the green dots here. So a spline, when you edit the spline, you have knots on it. So this one here is a knot. And then you have this one here is a tangent. This one here. This is the tangent. And so on this one, this first knot has an output tangent, and that's what you have here. And this knot here has an input tangent, that's here. So the script is reading the knot positions and the tangent in position and the tangent out positions. And here I added a free list. So this is knot objects, tangent in objects, and tangent out objects. So what we want is, whatever we put in here will be updated with this list information. So this A, we want the A to have the first knot's position. So the first knot's position needs to be put on A. So if we put the A on the knot element 0, now it will follow the spline not A. And here, now we want this green D want to be always following the knot here. So then we do that over here. So it's the second knot. And the B is the yellow one up here. And that is the first tangent out. So we just move this one to the first tangent out. And then the last one, C, that will be the second tangent in. So that's the second knot. So we need the second element, and we want the tangent in because it's going into the knot. So tangent in here. And voila, here we have it. So if we now take the spline and edit it, now it works. So now we can just have the spline and we know exactly how it works. So this is perfect. So we're really getting somewhere. So let's go through the script. And we have it here. Let's see here. So these are the... I have it execute in edit mode. So it will always work in edit mode. And then I have the... Here, I actually have this one. This one is the spline container. So the spline container, that's what you have here. Because you need to know what spline you're referring to. And then I store all the knots and tangent in and outs. So that's these three first list. And so this one, this list here, these first three ones, they are in the update. I do this read spline positions. So that's this position. So what I do for each knot in the spline knots, so I only have 2 knots, so it will only read the first 2. It won't work with 3 knots, it only works with 2. So the first thing I do the position, and but when you read the knot position, you get it in local space in the component. So I add the spline container's position because we need it in world position. And then we get the rotation on the knot. So it's not rotation because, yeah, the knot has if you do like this, knot dot, it has position, rotation, tangent in and tangent out and stuff. So it has a lot of good information. And then if you take tangent in, so tangent in, it's just a scalar value. It's just a single float, which means it's just like 5 or 4 or 3. If you look here on the spline, you have the tangent length is like 13. It's a float. So you need to take the rotation together with this tangent. Actually, I'm wondering if I'm telling the wrong now. I'm not really sure. Maybe the tangent is a vector actually. It might be actually when I think about it. But in either case, it's not rotated, it's just a scalar. So you need to take the rotation, multiply it with the rotation. You need to multiply the rotation with the tangent. And the rotation is a quaternion, which means it's a vector 4. And if you're ever going to multiply a vector 3 and vector 4, you always need to have the vector 4 on the left side. So then you have the kind of direction, and then you need to add a position to it. So, and then you just add it to the list up here. So that's what's happening here. And then here we just do update. So this is just updating the list here from this one. So it's not the most efficient script, but you need to make it better if you want to have it in runtime and stuff. But this is more in execute in edit mode. So it's sufficient for this tutorial. So this is how it works. So I really hope you liked it. And this is, in the next tutorial, I'm going to do the bat. So we're going to jump into Houdini and do the bat. So we can have some cool things going on and tweak it so it looks better. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching and see you in the next tutorial.